Oh, to order. Tammy, if you wouldn't mind doing a silent roll call. I already got it. You're speechless. All right.
Sharon, you can sit by me. Then you can tell Teresa how well I behave.
Right on up here to the table. Here,
Yeah.
guys.
Front and center. All right. Sally, you'd like to start us
Sure.
off?
So for this workshop tonight, I know Melissa had reached out to different users of the facility and invited them. We knew Alderwoman Dent would be here, but she reached out to other users so that we could maybe have a conversation about, as you all know, we've been kind of working on updates maybe to our ordinances and creating some policies for use of the facility. So we wanted to invite the users in so we could have that conversation. Maybe better understand how they use the facility, maybe what parts. I know Melissa and I've talked about over the past year or so, we've had more requests for use of just the basement area for events. And so, over the past year, we've also gotten other areas that need to be off limits locking. And so those are all locking now. We've done several things like that just to kind of secure up different parts of the building that general public doesn't need to just have open to them. And so as we started kind of talking about a few things, I can bring out a few things, but then with Shannon here also, like I said, maybe some conversations about how they use the building. One of the things that we have done also, because again, with the conversation of some entities who just want to rent the basement, when we have someone using the building from a staff perspective and understanding that we also have the high-set classes that are downstairs are using the building throughout the week at different times, even when there aren't actual individuals in the classes. A lot of times Pat Todd is here, she's doing online classes and things, so there's still someone else in the building. And so understanding all those different uses and needs, like I said, we've conversations and changes in how the building's used compared to in years past. So some of the things that we've talked about as staff, we've talked about making sure that when somebody has a facility rented that we have cleaning supplies specifically for them in case they have spills, something happens, that way they're available, walking them through where those are at. But maybe separate from our bulk cleaning supplies and stuff that we have locked up. Also, we have talked about potentially a gate closing off this stairwell so that if someone has the auditorium and the main floor rented, then the basement's closed off and vice versa. That way, again, and it's not even always just the entities using the building, but they can't keep track of the public who are there for their event. And I know Melissa and I both have seen, like folks will just be, I know that one night where you were outside and folks were just going downstairs, the event was here in the auditorium, and then they come up and they poke their head in the old clerk's office, and they just, every door that's not locked and sealed, they're just poking in. And so both for the public safety as well as things that we may have stored in the building, not a good idea. Like I said, we do have doors locking now, but we've talked about a gate that we could lock off or leave open as needed. We have, since getting the fixed seating, that's also changed some things for the building. Since getting the fixed seating here in the auditorium, even with the addition of folding chairs kind of along the back and edges, with a maximum seating capacity of 300, and that does not include the balcony, 300 here on the main floor, restroom facilities are adequate. We've checked that per code. So we have adequate for that based on 300 seating capacity.
And that's what Jared.
Yes. Yeah, I had him do that research and do those calculations for us.
Like fire safety.
Yes.
And,
Yes. Now, again, because that was the question, if we want to try to put a chain gate and lock off the stairwell, do you know what I mean? Do we have adequate facilities for this main floor?
I have a question on locking off the stairwells and then maybe just the basement being rented. Is there only one access to the basement outside the building? And would we even have a problem with?
Depends on where we chain that off.
Yeah, it would depend if you put the chain at the top or at the bottom of the steps.
Okay.
Yep.
I'd like to have a couple exits
Right.
in case of emergencies for the basement.
Yeah, and originally it had other access, but they're all on this side.
Okay.
And they've all been closed off and sealed
Okay.
off. over time. But there were 2 or 3 doors on this south side of the building originally, in the basement level.
I mean, maybe it's not a concern. I don't know.
No, I think it's, yeah, I think it's viable,
I think I got a couple concerns about renting the basement.
okay?
So downstairs, I don't know, is there anything from Angie Curley's office, like voter
Well,
stuff?
we've already worked with her to move that stuff. I don't know that it's been moved yet, but we needed to move it anyway because she had her stuff in a locked room where our furnace was, and we need to be able to access that to change filters and do routine
Yeah.
maintenance. So John has talked with Angie about that already. I don't know how familiar you are with the kitchen down there.
Yes,
So when you go in the kitchen, there's the main part over here where the sink and everything is, but then there's like a side room over here.
Yes.
That used to be part of the kitchen originally. We've talked to Angie about her utilizing that space to store her election
okay,
stuff. And that way she can lock it, do you know what I mean? It's not impeding access to anything.
yeah. My concerns is opening it, like renting that and any of that potentially, because
Right.
we also have city records still
Right. Yes, we do.
downstairs.
Yes.
So-
Well, not only, it's not, well, when you rent the whole building right now as it is,
Mm-hmm.
it's accessible.
Yeah,
So,
that right there is
so
Yeah, no.
that's really why we
Yeah.
want,
Right,
a gate.
because this upstairs is rented more frequently than downstairs.
right.
Yeah, I would prefer, I don't know, that's up to the board, but I'd prefer not that, if we're gonna have like vital information like that stored downstairs, that we not rent it out to the public.
Even though it's behind lock and key?
Yes,
So would it be better
I would
to-
prefer to take extra, I
To
would-
not rent out the basement at all?
yes, just to take extra security measures,
Is there
you
a
know?
better way to secure it? To
Yeah.
where-
Or another location.
Or
like in
another
the office.
location within
No.
the same building to
No,
store it?
the volume of stuff that's in there, we can't relocate.
And there's no way to lock that off to where
I mean, it's
only
locked now.
certain people would have access, the ones that would need it, not like the general public when they operate the building?
I mean, I leave that up to you guys, I just,
Is it
I have
broken?
concerns like that
That
with,
would be
you
a
know,
criminal act, right? Like
so many people.
If they broke into it,
damage,
yeah.
yeah, that would be a criminal act, that would
Right.
be something
Yeah.
separate.
Yeah, and like I said, it is locked now. I mean, if someone rented the basement, all of the city files are behind lock and key
Yeah.
already. So,
That's just my concerns.
Gotcha.
Okay?
gotcha. Well, and this is why we want to do this, so that we get all the concerns, do you know what I mean, needs, all of that out on the table. Sorry.
If you want me to, I can kind of tell you, like, cause I rent the whole building top to bottom to do the musical. So what we do in the downstairs part is the kids use the bathrooms as the dressing room, and then we feed them at least 5 or 6 meals during the whole weeks that we're there.
Gotcha.
And then that's also where they store all their costumes, their street clothes.
Is
If we have
downstairs.
extra props or those types of things, we store them downstairs and then bring them up when we need them.
Okay.
And then upstairs, we use, obviously, this is our rehearsal space, this is where the kids wait. And then we also run all of our sound from up there so that we don't have to mess with sound, like taking up chairs that people could purchase or, you know, be in the right. That's just that's how I personally use it as the musical director at Upper Elementary.
Gotcha. And that's good to know. I know in the past, like I said, we've seen, and again, I'm not saying it's the folks renting the facility, or maybe, like I said, it could very well be public who are there for the events.
Yeah.
And, you know, when we didn't have things locking, like, you could see where people had been in those upper rooms upstairs, and I, you know, what I mean, just places where the public shouldn't be. So you do need the full facility when you're putting on a play.
Preferably, yeah. It makes the system that we've worked so hard to kind of fine tune in work
Gotcha.
really successfully for
Gotcha,
us.
okay. So knowing that the high set classes are going on down there, and then they use the kitchen space also, is that an issue?
It wasn't an issue until I think this summer.
Yeah.
Take off my hat head, put
Gotcha.
on my scenic performing rivers head, but I think there was an issue with like some stuff in the refrigerator and that type of thing. We took care of that and
Yeah.
just made it to where we had a select few adult people who were in charge of that, and that was the end of
Gotcha.
it.
Okay.
But she was very easy to like
Yeah.
say, hey, this has happened, and we were like, oh, let's fix that.
Yeah.
So, but
Pat is usually really easy to work
Yeah.
with and get along with, yeah, so. But I kind of felt like maybe you weren't aware that others were using the facility at that time.
yeah,
so-
I was just
Yeah.
telling you how I know, because
Gotcha.
I know we went it like 2.5 full weeks out of the year,
Right,
like that's how we
right.
use it. But
Okay. Okay. Are you still active in the Miss Salem
We never know.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, when you do that, though, do you utilize the entire facility, both
Yes.
floors? You do?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So I have a question. The balcony, so that's something I know staff, we have concerns about having it open to the public for safety reasons. How do those of you who utilize the facility for events?
So I never let a child go
Okay.
up the stairs, and if they do, they're with an adult because I need to work with their mic pack or something. We'll say,
Gotcha.
hey,
Right.
Aladdin, come up here and we'll fix it.
Right.
But no kids are ever allowed up there
Okay.
by themselves at all. Really, it's just me and my husband Nathan who
Right.
runs 90% of the sound for more people than just the school in
Gotcha.
here.
Right.
But no kids ever up
Okay.
there at all.
Gotcha,
It's an overflow for us, so.
gotcha, gotcha, okay. Like I said, it is a concern for us for safety. I don't know how to mitigate that. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, if you can't use it, you can't use it.
Liability waiver?
Well, and,
Plexiglass or something up there is a taller
well,
form, and that would be a way to mitigate
I said,
that.
what do you mean by safety concern? Like, what does that
Falling
mean?
over the rail?
yeah,
Yeah.
kids falling over.
I kind
Yeah.
of figured I was just
Yeah,
asking to
No.
ask.
yeah. No, that's our concern, kids falling over.
Gravity.
Isn't there like a OSHA standard or something for acceptable guardrails? and-
There is,
Are we
there are building
compliant?
codes. I would say that's not, but at the same time, because of when it was built, do you know
Well,
what
if
I
we
mean? And we've
what if we put a couple strands of like security wire across the top of it?
not, concertina wire?
I think that's a bit
Real
more
discipline.
risky.
150-pound fishing string there, John?
Yeah.
Some test string.
Plexiglass or something would work though.
Maybe,
Yeah.
if it doesn't interfere with
I-
lights and other things
I
for
just,
productions.
it would probably mess with it quite a bit, to be really honest.
Right.
And
Well,
that's,
if you did
anything
the
that's
light
up there
good,
that sound bounces off, it all, I mean,
Right.
but, I mean, like I said, it's only me and Nathan. Sometimes my personal children have to sit up there, but I always make them sit on that very, very back row.
Right.
So I should say, back my previous statement up, my personal children sometimes have to
Right.
sit up there with us. But they're
But yeah.
always on that wall row because it is, I mean, it's even a little discombobulated for adults. They're like, okay,
Yes.
that's farther down than I thought it
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
So,
okay.
Have you used it? Have you had enough in here that we've had to use it? Really? Oh, that's great.
Gymnastics, my kid was in gymnastics, so I can speak
Yeah.
for that. It was standing room only. They, I don't
Right.
know if they really had many chairs out, but it's standing room only.
Right.
But then they're like, go open the balcony, and I'm like,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
and I know the
I'm
dance
not.
recital, when it's in here too, it's always body,
Right.
body, 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 body. Like
But
it's
to
just
me,
standing room
that's
only.
a logistic issue that they need to work out. Maybe it doesn't
Yeah.
need to be one night, maybe it needs to be 2 nights.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
because it's just so.
Or two
it's-
performances a night
Right.
or a day
Yeah,
or
like two
something.
different, yeah.
Well, I know
300 at a time.
Recently, when was the high school, middle school band used it also
Yeah.
for perform, I mean, and from what I've heard, it was the same thing, with standing room only.
I think people think it's a lot larger than it is. Like,
Right.
they're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yes.
300 chairs, that's fine.
It's not 300.
It's
No.
not
It's
as many
190.
So
Right.
I'm like, no, it's not 300. It's,
Right.
yeah.
But yeah, like I
And
said,
that's
it's
if
190
everybody's in a
fixed.
chair, it's 190,
Yes.
not a
190.
space between families and, you
Right.
know,
Yeah,
it's real, we say 140 when we're
gotcha,
like, we can fit 140 people and that's all the tickets we can sell and that's it.
Gotcha.
So, you know, it's extra space, but.
right, okay. So some of the things I know as staff, you know, we've had tape on the floors, just takes the finish right off the hardwood floor. And so we'd like to, you know, no tape on the floors. Some of the things, I did notice we've got paint on the front steps. So being careful, you know, if you're building props and stuff, careful about where that's happening. What were some of the other things,
We
Melissa?
talked about a stage cover, like a floor
Like a
covering.
mat.
Yeah, and I
to
feel like
protect it,
that's
Just in,
I think
worthwhile
we
for
need
us
to
to
do
purchase,
that.
yes,
Especially if we're
Yeah.
gonna have, I mean, we want it to be utilized.
right,
And it seems like for performances and props and things on
Yeah.
stage, you can't, you know, either you accept the wear and tear or you
Right.
buy something
right.
to
And now we
protect
did
it.
find, I don't know if you're familiar with, Shannon, we did find
Damaged already.
I don't want to say plastic,
the surface.
a surface, right, that's supposed to be designed for
Like
like
acrylic.
theatrical type use on over wooden floors, wooden
Have you
stages.
experienced anything like that at any place else that you've?
Anything that I've ever experienced that's not wood floor is hard to deal with. But I also understand it is a lot of wear and tear. I mean, it's because we have casters and we move things and we
Right.
scoot them and it's a lot. I mean,
Yeah,
it's kind of one of those, you know, you like handshake with a lesser of two evils. I mean, this is a facility to me. I mean, I'm just gracious that we can rent it, especially at no cost, because I mean, we've looked at going other places and it's thousands of dollars to do the
Right.
amount of time that we need to do and be in here.
Right.
So, and because, I mean, we're looking at places in Rolla, so then I'm paying for buses and other things, and that's just not in our
Right.
budget, you know? So, I mean,
We don't want you to go to Raleigh, we want you to stay here.
I should
Right.
say, this is glorious. We
Right.
love it.
We just gotta figure out where's that happy medium.
Yeah, for sure. And we don't mind, I know on the Scenic Rivers Performing Arts, the community theater side of it, I don't mind even if like, because a lot of theaters just paint it black and then they refinish it and they paint it black again.
Right.
If that's a cost that we have to ensue to preserve it,
Gotcha.
it's a cost we have
You
to
know, and
ensue. I mean,
that was a recommendation by one of the flooring guys that we've had here, come look at it. I don't know how everybody else feels about it. I'm not a fan of painting hardwood floors. I don't know. And maybe for long-term preservation, maybe that's the answer. I don't know. But we have the original hardwood floor here.
Yeah.
And to me, that would be almost sacrilegious to paint it. But, I mean, so like I said, that was one option that was pitched by a flooring person. And, you know, the other one was if we wanted to paint this and finish over the painting even, you know, he talked about even if we wanted to put logos on the floor or things like that and then finish over them and then they're there and dress it up that
Like a
way.
basketball court.
It kind of, yeah. But he was talking about painting it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Not leaving it natural wood look. So, I mean, there are lots of options like that we can explore. That's probably not part of this whole discussion here tonight. So I'm curious, Alderwoman Dent and Shannon both, what are things that you guys have seen in using the facility that maybe we need to look at and consider?
Need a handrail on the step over here.
On the step?
Yeah,
Okay, on the one side?
Well, like.
We can
yeah.
only do one side, yeah,
Yeah.
with the exit there.
right.
Okay, what else?
I know that this is probably a hot no, but the most problems I have, and I say problems just because we've done it a lot,
Right.
is getting it unlocked when we need it unlocked
Right.
and getting it locked when we needed it locked.
Right.
Because I don't exactly know who, like, I'm hunting down Melissa, and then I'm hunting down the police, and then I'm
Right.
hunting down this person,
And
so.
we've changed that up a
Yeah.
lot.
We've refined that now.
It was a lot better this summer. It was a lot. That's probably my biggest thing, because sometimes my moms are in here working at
Gotcha.
2 a.m. Like,
Right.
'cause that's the time they have to do it.
Right,
So.
yeah.
And usually if we let you in then and don't unlock the door, like don't pop it unlocked, as soon as they leave, the door's shut and
Yes,
they lock.
and that
that's
works
fine.
great. And I always tell them, make sure the lights are off and make
Right.
sure, we have a little checklist of this is
Yeah.
how we found it, this is how we're gonna leave it.
Right.
So,
The one thing that as staff, that we find a little frustrating is if we come after we've let them in, and I understand people needing to come and go, but when we come by and nobody's here and the door's propped open, to us, that's a security issue. Because we know, we've had a scare or two early on where Pat was here, she was the only one in the building, at least she thought she was, and we had people come walking through. And so for her being the only one in the building a lot, that is a security concern. And so that's something we want to be cognizant of too. So I don't know if we have the specific answer to that just yet, but we realize it's,
and maybe, one thing I've worked on a lot for us this year is giving more specific hours of when we are going to be in here and trying really hard to stick to that
Gotcha.
for that.
That
And
is
so that
helpful,
people
yeah.
know, hey, they're gonna be in here,
Right.
and then I can call somebody and say, hey, we're gonna be longer, or
Right.
whatever's easiest, but just, cause I know to look at our civic theater request and see that we're requesting 2 weeks is intimidating, but
gotcha,
entirely necessary on our half, just to be more specific about, I'm gonna bring kids in here at 2:05, rehearsal's over at 5, my parents are staying till 7, just
Gotcha.
something more specific.
gotcha, okay. Anything else, like, along those lines? I know one of the things that as staff that we've talked about, is, excuse me, is maybe implementing a cleaning and damage deposit, a refundable deposit. Because if we do have to have our girl coming in cleaning more, do you know what I
We
mean?
used to have to do that.
Huh?
We used to have to do that.
Oh,
with-
really?
With Custom Pumpkin Club. yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, we don't have anything in the codes right now about it. And so that is something we would kind of like to add, is a refundable cleaning and damage deposit. And that way we have somebody on staff who kind of goes through the facility with you when you rent it, do you know what I mean? And, okay, here's the condition of things now, and then go through afterwards, and if it's left in good condition and is clean, do you know what I mean? Then you get your deposit back. So that is something that,
That's pretty standard.
it
I would
is,
think.
it is, it's
I think
just,
it'll help, like like recently though, we haven't had anything designated for people to clean with or where to
It's like
clean.
we just
Right.
went and bought stuff.
Yeah,
Right,
that's what, like,
right.
if there's a designated place that's, here's the
Right.
trash cans we use, the
Right,
paper
here's the
towels,
liners,
the
here's the-
soap,
yes.
the, all the things or whatever that we need for
Right.
you to use, and I was like, even thinking beyond being in school and stuff, I'm like, we need something for, emergency cleanups, puke.
Right. Yes.
Or what, like,
Blood, all that stuff,
yes,
yeah.
just something that is,
So when
and nobody
some,
knows what to do with it once, so if we have it designated and
Yeah.
when someone rents it, do we pre-check it for like supplies and bathrooms?
I mean, we can start doing that, yes. I
When
mean,
we had the 4th of July thing in here, the bathrooms were filthy. I mean, really.
see, and I know it's been cleaned regularly, so I don't know, and here we come again with having the building open, do you know what I mean? We don't know, and Pat, talking with Pat too, I mean, even when she's having classes and stuff, do you know what I mean?
that's why I think
People
a
in the
gate would be
building.
useful.
I agree, a gate on that stairwell
Because
somewhere.
the people that go to class down there,
Yeah.
they don't, there's no reason for them to be up here.
Right, right.
Period.
Right.
And that might be a safety issue for her too, if there's a way to lock
Right,
from up here in these entrances,
yeah,
then maybe she would feel safer also down there.
true, true,
But-
that's possible.
I have found some very interesting things in the past up here that I
Oh,
know
I
that
can only
probably my
imagine.
children don't have access to, my students. And I'll always say, hey, Melissa, I found this, or, hey, I
Right.
found this, just so you know it's not
Right.
from us.
Right, yeah,
So,
Yeah.
yeah, no, we've found some things too, and so we're trying to cut down on that.
yeah, for sure.
Not pleasant surprises,
Yeah,
so,
Yes, when they, yeah, the
Interesting.
balcony used to be a cool place to
it was
Hang
a hangout.
out.
It was,
Yes.
hang out.
it was a whole vibe. So,
okay.
Who hangs out in a city government building?
People that take
Okay.
classes.
Who's going to hang out?
What is this class?
In a
what is this?
semi-abandoned building where you and someone else can just chill
I
for a while?
got you.
Okay, thank you.
What is the class? What is the class they're teaching down here?
It's
I know, I wish
basically
they
the old
quit doing
GE.
it at the
It's
park.
called
Okay.
concept now.
Well, we're gonna be working on that.
So we do have, I didn't want to send this out yet because we've got the start of kind of policy, rental policies and use things that as staff, we've kind of read over and put some things in. We still have some things that we know we need to clean up before we start sharing with folks about what's available here in the building. We need to clarify some things on staff's part and our abilities before we put that out. But I know, like I said, I feel like those were kind of some of the main talking points we wanted to talk about.
How is the booking process, Catherine and Shannon, on getting, is it pretty streamlined, pretty?
oh yeah, I just take the form and fax it to Melissa.
Someone asked,
Put it on the calendar.
I'm-
It's
Yeah,
easy.
and
It's
she puts it on the
very-
calendar.
okay, someone asked me why it was, difficult.
It's not.
Well, I'll get more detail from that individual, on what the issue or the frustration
I
was.
know
with
how
Is
long
booking.
it somebody
ago.
that does a singing concert here?
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
If I'm thinking of the right guy.
Yeah, I think if I emailed him and I didn't get an email back. So, but calling my office, I'm not always there, especially if you're gonna call me in the
Oh,
summertime.
yeah, I know.
So I have a cell phone number. That is the
If you're
easiest
not
way to get
coaching
ahold of me.
a T-ball team,
Yeah, well, there's a
or
lot going
striping
on.
the field,
There's a lot going on.
or putting up no tobacco
So-
signs.
Emailing or texting me or calling me on my cell phone is the best way to get a hold of me.
But you are the contact to book it.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay. Yeah. And that might have been, I don't even know when it was. I just,
And I think he even came into the admin building and I'm like,
yeah,
that's not
he did.
my office.
He did.
And that, I'm really sorry I'm not.
yeah.
Most of us know that Melissa isn't in the office and we have the form just slip it under the door.
Yep, or I have a box that's
Yeah.
next to
okay,
my office door.
okay.
It would be nice to add like a little thing to the website that has a PDF of so that
Of
I
the
can
form.
print it off, because
Gotcha.
that's what I asked her this year. I said, hey, I know we're thinking about a new
Gotcha.
one. Is there a new one?
Right.
No, there's
No,
not.
not
Turn
yet.
it
Same
over,
one,
you know.
yep, I can send
So
it to
just a
you.
quick
Usually I
PDF.
take PDF.
file would be-
And that's
go
easy
back
enough,
and
once,
edit it.
once we get to the
Yeah.
final form of,
Easy, yeah,
I think
for sure.
that's easy enough, yeah. Okay,
Well, that would be good too, if we post contact information on the website,
Yeah,
how to rent
we
it.
can do that, yeah. Are there any other questions or concerns about use?
Would it be something we'd want to consider since locking and unlocking was brought up? Could we not put remote locks on it to where the dispatcher at the police station could lock it and unlock it for people?
We've talked about key code access,
Right.
but then it's,
We have it at the church, we put it in at the church, and I just
Gotcha.
called the security or whoever and said, hey, I need to get in at 9. And he's like, okay, there you go.
Gotcha.
But I'll check on the cost of it.
I
Yeah,
mean, that would have been way easier because I live 20 minutes out of town. So
Yes,
Right.
yeah, that's why I was,
Yes.
coming in and out
Yeah.
was like a lot.
yeah,
okay,
that would be
yeah.
more user-friendly
Gotcha.
and less burdensome.
On like one
Having to.
particular door, yeah.
Yeah.
not all of them.
Right.
You know, like the dispatcher, and you
I think
obviously
it's
would
still
have
gonna,
it.
I think we're still gonna, though, at the point when, like, maybe someone fills out the form that they wanna use the facility, we'll need to set up a time where somebody
A
can come
walkthrough.
walk through. Yeah, I think that's important that we start doing that. So, yeah, so there'll be another step to it, but
I'm 9'7".
I just don't think it's
Legs are-
terribly onerous. So,
Okay.
anything else we need to cover right now? Because we're coming up on,
Don't know
Really,
that,
really
so-
quick, yeah.
Yep.
So, when it comes to fees for the community theater, is there any way that it could be less than what it is now for that because it's rooted here? I mean, because we,
Consideration for local use?
yeah, I mean, it's
Or
because
like
to,
extended use.
Yeah.
That puts me in a predicament with my community choir, okay?
Okay.
We don't have a problem paying the fees the way they are now. We set that, I have a person that manages all of that for me. She says, what do we need in the way of fees? And I said, we need this and this and this, and it's there.
I think renting it for one day, that wouldn't be a problem, but when we're renting it
For
for
2
multiple
weeks.
hours at a time, I mean, I think we paid a fairly good chunk, like over $1,000 of our budget that's only so small anyways to be able to rent it out for that long.
yeah.
Well, I
Yeah,
think if
because-
you do that, and I'm gonna be arguing with you because you understand my feelings toward you about your situation.
Mhm.
Then I think that if you do it for you, it's gotta be done for everybody too. And so.
I mean, we can
I'm
move to Rolla, but I
unsympathetic
don't
to
want
your-
to do
to
that
your need.
because it
Sorry.
started in Salem for Salem, that's why we're doing it here. And I want to do it here to utilize a city building instead of finding a church or outdating them for a week or so. That's just why I asked.
Gotcha.
And if the answer's no, I understand that.
Gotcha.
But my board said, hey, since you're going to this meeting,
Right.
see if that can happen.
Right, that's the
I mean,
purpose of this
even-
workshop, yes.
Or like on performance days, we pay the full fee, but to rehearse here, we pay half fee.
Gotcha.
Something like that, because it's just a pretty big chunk for
Right.
organizations that are trying to start and stir
How does
things.
Oat handle it in Rolla?
Oat owns their building,
Okay,
so they don't have to have a rental fee, and they charge pretty
A lot more for
hefty
tickets, yeah.
ticket prices,
ticket
yeah, I
prices, so.
have done that.
And then they charge, like Fine Linen is not through Oat, they charge Fine Linen a rental fee to use it, and vice versa when Oat uses Fine
Yeah,
Linen.
whatever we do with fees, though, as they are now, they're in our code. So it would apply to everyone, whatever those fees get set
Right.
at. So, but absolutely, I mean, I'll look at it, we'll come up with options as staff for the board to consider, so.
That's fine, yeah.
All right, we are 5:59, so unless we've got something else that's urgent we need to discuss tonight at the workshop. Shannon, if you have anything else that you think of, let Melissa or myself know, okay? And we'll go from there, and we'll work on this policy some more.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
You bet,
Please,
thank you.
this is
Thank you
fun.
for coming.
You're welcome.